on me that in the United States of America, where I spent many years in practice, that it wouldn't be a consideration because persons who were 65 years and older would have Medicare or Medicaid or both, and they were not concerned about whether they could afford health care. And I think that gave them an upper hand on us here in Anguilla because if you have to be concerned whether you can afford your medication or go to the doctor versus being able to feed yourself, take care of your bills, and then I think that caused us to be at disadvantage for our people here in Anguilla.
The Senior Shield program, it is very good. Old people really shouldn't have to pay for health care, and neither should children. So I'm looking forward to seeing it extended to the children. And at the same time, I'm wondering how sustainable this program will be. But right now, for the elderly, it's working fine. I appreciate the help the older people are getting. That's through the senior care program.
One of the things I also realized is that these persons would have contributed significantly to Anguilla's progress. They were involved in the revolution of 1967 to 69. They would have been there for us as we were growing up, our generation, and whether they were teachers or they served in other capacities. And some of them our parents and grandparents. And that was a concern to me that we should be able as a country to provide this service to our seniors.
Senior Seal is good for like 70 years, and me, it's two antiques. It's a very good idea. I hope it be around for a very, very long time. I went to the doctor, I had to pay nothing. My physical test is nothing. All I had to do is show my card, BRAM, and that was action.
Senior Shield is not working for me at the moment right now, but it may be good for somebody else. The hospital might not have all my medicine and what's not, but I hope by some time they would have the medicine what the French pharmacy got.
Those 70 years and older would be able to go to the doctor, go to the hospital, and go to the clinics if they need help, be able to afford their medications, do their labs and the diagnostics such as x-rays, CT scans, and now that we have an MRI scanner that they'll be able to access that service. Very important because I've had persons come up to me and said that their labs are costing them $800, $1,000 to do. Now, if you think about it, that this is covered, and that's $800 to $1,000 that they don't have to spend on their health care, and they can use that for other purposes.
I am Brenda from Brenda's Tender Loving Care, nursing home for seniors and juvenile. The Senior Shield program, I find it working is very beneficial. It's working, we've had a few hospitalized, and as far as I know, they haven't gotten a bill, so that is a plus for the families. I've been able to get medical supplies from the hospital, no charge to the families or to the home. So yes, it is working.
What I see is that as persons can access the healthcare system much easier, and then that should improve their healthcare. They can afford the medications, and they can afford the diagnostic services. And also now, I think it helps their family members and their children or grandchildren who were actually paying for these services for them before. Now they'll be able to keep that money in their pockets. And I think what I envision is a healthier elderly population, and then that will transfer down to our younger persons because I think that we'll be able to get access to healthcare faster and also earlier because we know the longer we wait to access the healthcare system, there's more risk of morbidity and mortality.
Well, hello. My name is Orlin Reed. What is the definition of SHIELD? My definition is it's a protection. Therefore, I look at the Senior Seal that has been established here by this government as something that protects or people. But you know what is so curious? It protects the elderly, but it protects me also. I've been paying for medications for my mom, x-rays, all those things, and the money just keep piling up. But right now, with Senior Shield, zero. That money I can take and do something else. So Senior Shield, I am 58. I soon will be 70, and I will benefit from Senior Shield. You can too.
Senior Shield, I mean, the term itself talks about protection and prevention, and I would admonish those who are eligible, 70 years and older, or those who are, 69 and getting to 70, get prepared for this. Go out and register. And registration for those 70 years and older. And if you can't get there yourself, have someone, a family member, a community worker, go out and register so that you can have access to the service, so that if you have to go to the clinic, you're already registered. It makes it easier. If you go to the hospital, whether it's emergency or it's to access the diagnostics, labs, x-rays, then you're already registered. It makes it much easier to get taken care of and get into the system. Now, I must say that, we have to be grateful that this is provided, because this is being paid for by the people of Anguilla. These services, we contribute in terms of taxes and fees, and this is a program that is being paid for directly, out of taxes that are paid into the consolidated fund. So, access this service which is being provided for you by the government and people of Anguilla.
A new medical program where all children from birth up to 5 years old will be afforded completely free medical care. We have more in this report.
It is now official in Anguilla. Children up to 6 years will get free medical care of any type.
Junior Shield is to make sure that we cover those who are less than 6 years old, because as you've heard, those are the years that are most important.
The program, called Junior Shield, now stands as a partner social policy of the completely free medical care for senior citizens rolled out a few months ago.
The vision of the Anguilla Progressive Movement administration was to build a great society by investing more in people. And this includes improving the quality of and access to health care. All great societies are judged by the way they take care of the vulnerable, the elderly, and the very young.
The free medical care program for children was officially launched in the Valley this week, attended by several parents with their children in arms. The first few medical cards for those already enrolled in the program were handed out at the event. First-time parent Rihanna Stewart called the program a game changer.
I would like to thank the government of Anguilla for implementing this valuable benefit for the youth in Anguilla.
Minister of Education and Social Development Dean Kentish Rogers said the program will not only provide long-term health benefits to children, but will also provide economic and social benefits as well.
The World Health Organization estimates that every $1 spent in early childhood health care yields $7 in societal benefits, including healthcare savings and economic benefits.
Premier Webster himself, a medical doctor, said the program will have a major impact on the entire family.
And it doesn't benefit only the children under 6 or those 70 and older. It benefits the families of those, the parents of those, because as someone said, what you don't have to pay in healthcare, that is money in your pocket.
At an election campaign launched a few days earlier, candidates touted the government's overall social programs, with Quincy Gums Marie taking the opposition to task for their general criticisms. She said many of these programs were hand-ups.
We have been put in this position to do God's work and to do it in the name of His people.
For Primetime Caribbean, I am Tahira Burke.
The Anguilla government, in a landmark decision, has passed an act that will regularize the status of great-grandchildren of Anguillans. At a ceremony in the Valley Monday, a preacher who serves the Spanish community there hailed the development, declaring in his words, "Before we were seen as foreigners, but today we have been welcomed as children of the land." We have more in this report.
I am pleased to announce that the Executive Council has approved a new policy granting great-grandchildren of Anguillians exemption from the work permit requirement. This landmark policy, spearheaded by the Ministry of Home Affairs, is aimed at strengthening family ties within the island, but also fostering a connection with the Anguillian diaspora by recognizing descendants of Anguillians worldwide.
Tonight, hundreds of people in Anguilla, mainly Spanish-speaking residents, finally feel like they belong.
Who fought with previous administrations to make this happen.
Pero ustedes prestaron sus oídos.
But you gave us your ear.
E hicieron esta realidad.
And made this happen.
Gracias, gracias, gracias.
Thank you
por ello.
For this.
It was an emotional ceremony for scores of them who attended Monday's event. They looked on as Minister of Home Affairs officially signed a document that is effectively their new passport to greater opportunities and a better life.
In the name of each and every one of them, and in my name, I thank you and everyone who made this possible. Thank you.
In Anguilla, there are hundreds of descendants of nationals, many of them from the Dominican Republic, which was a popular destination for workers from Anguilla in the 1950s and 60s.
That it is a recognition of our historic nomadic perseverance as Anguillians, who bravely venture to other countries to work and provide for their families, some of whom settled abroad.
Premier Dr. Ellis Webster welcomed this group of residents whom he notes can live their lives with more dignity and greater hope.
We consider you to be brothers and sisters.
Nosotros los consideramos